You know what I do when I'm sitting in a darkened theater waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh, dear God, please let it be a good show. And let it be short. 2 hours is fine. 3 hours is too much. And keep the actors out of the audience. God, I didn't pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a story and a few good songs that'll take me away. I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, there was a time when people sat in darkened theaters and thought to themselves, what if George and Ira Gershwin got for us tonight? Or can Cole Porter pull it off again? Can you imagine? Now it's just, please, Elton John, must we continue this charade? It used to be, sitting there in the dark, you knew that when the show began, you'd be taken to another world, a world full of color and music and glamour, and you thought to yourself, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? Oh, how times have changed. Hello. How are we all tonight? I'm feeling a little bit blue myself. A little anxious for no particular reason, a little sad. I should still be feeling anxious at this age. Just a little bit of self-conscious anxiety resulting in non-specific sadness. A state I like to call blue. So when I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So I was going through my records the other day. Yes, records. And what did I find but Meredith Willson's The Music Man? I had a craving for a young Ronnie Howard. But then I thought, no, let's have a treat. Let's disappear for a little while into the decadent world of 1928. When the champagne flowed while the caviar chilled and all the world was a party. For the wealthy, anyways. So I looked around, and what did I find but Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. You remember? Lyrics by Julie Gable, music by Cindy Stein. It's a 2-record set, remastered from the original recording in 1928, with all the original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell as the chaperone. Isn't she elegant? And this was a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Can you imagine? Let me read for you what it says on the back. It says, mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Of course, the phrase gay wedding has an entirely different meaning nowadays. Back then, it just meant fun. And that's just what this show is, fun. So, would you indulge me? Would you let me play the record for you? Sure. Yeah. I was hoping you would say yes. You hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's like the sound of a time machine starting up. Alright, now, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, it's November 1928. You've just arrived at the doors of the Roscoe Theater in New York City. It's very cold. Remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November's the new August now. It's global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway, it's very cold, and a heavy gray sleet is falling from the sky, but you don't care, because you're going to see a Broadway show. Listen. Isn't this wonderful? Helps if you close your eyes. Overtures. Overtures aren't style nowadays. I miss them. It's a show's way of welcoming you, you know? Hello, welcome. The meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? That's just what an overture is, a poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. Oh, what's this? Something new. Maybe a dance tune. Something involving rollicking or pirates. Don't worry, there are no pirates. This is it. The moment when the music starts to build and you know you're only seconds away from being transformed. Two jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs. Flaky Maureen, a Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix. What we now call a lesbian. And of course, my favorite character, the Drowsy Chaperone. What more can you need for an evening's entertainment? Wasn't that wonderful? And we will all dig along. I don't even know what that means. All right. I'll try to guide you through this record as best as I can. Don't worry, it won't be difficult. So, we begin with a welcome from a love-struck groom.
Well, I'd just like to thank you all for coming. I have to say I must be some lucky fellow. Who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career for me, Robert Martin. Now, if it weren't for prohibition, I would say, let's raise a glass.
Here, here.
To Miss Janet Vandergraff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me.
The groom mustn't see the bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot, basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a little early in the day to be drinking, isn't it? I don't understand the question. Look, you keep Janet away from Robert, you understand? You're the chaperone. That's your only job. Aye, aye, mon capitaine.
Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm your little monkey.
So, with the bride and groom whisked away, we turn our attention to the B plot, which involves the producer.
It's a bad thing.
Getting married and leaving showbiz.
It's a bad thing.
Don't she know I got obligations?
It's a bad thing. I could be a leading lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, for the last time, you ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, too. Last week I auditioned for Swan and Lady.
A little annotation. Kitty and Feldzig were a couple in real life. Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, here's a familiar comic construct. A stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. At least she appears stupid until the very end, when she actually does something quite clever and makes everybody wonder whether it was all just an act. The irony here is that Sadie actually was quite stupid. Jack had to explain all the jokes to her, apparently. Still, she had a wonderful career on stage. Back then, the theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
A penny for Mr. Feldsey?
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole?
Guys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we can give you something else to chew on.
Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand before you in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also
And primarily
employees of a certain individual.
A certain individual.
a certain
Who
individual.
happens to be the largest single investor in Feldzig's Follies. He has sent us here
As pastry
to
chefs,
express his concerns about Miss Vandergraff's intended nuptials.
specifically.
And if she gets married and leaves the show, then there ain't no show.
Hey, don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Ever spent any time in Toledo?
Ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I got a cousin in Seattle.
Kitty. Guys, you tell your boss this wedding is never gonna happen. You have my word.
Oh, we'll take your word, all right.
But to go back on my word would be a recipe for disaster. Now I hope we've made ourselves perfectly eclair.
One can only hope.
You must an entree, you macaroon.
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tall Twins, Peter and Sarah Tall. They were born Abram and Esther Misloskowitz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. They were your typical example of your early Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements, not very intimidating, unless, of course, you happen to find dancers intimidating, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to the situation.
We'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Filthy. In the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel.
Try the Toledo surprise. It's to die for.
Holy cats, Mr. Felton! They're gangsters!
Very perceptive. Now, go powder your face. I gotta stop this wedding! But how? Oh Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little bit overplayed. So, with the plot well on its way, we turn our attention to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He was the all-right toothpaste man. His dazzling smile adorned every tube. All-right was hugely popular during the 1920s because it contained cocaine. Really, it was the fifth ingredient down right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, don't you worry. It's perfectly normal for a groom to be nervous on his wedding day. It is? Of course.
I love Percy Hyman. Now, some people say he was a bad actor, and to those people I say, shut up.
Hey, Mr. Mirror Man, shaken and quaking, trembling like them free cats do. Something big be bothering you. You know you got cold feet, brother. You got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little bit of young feet. Cold feet that be untouchable. Really make them cold feet shine down the aisle. Frosty arches and high angels can shine. Wedding marches play in ragtime swing, make frigid souls come alive and take that dive. Cold feet, cold feet, turn into bold feet, rhythm in them cold feet. Hot.
Oh, you don't say. Well, why don't you sign making you mine when you back very work? Well, now I have to find another meeting. Hey, what do you want?
I'm singing a song an old Negro taught me. A Dixie remedy for wedding day jitters.
You think you got Jonas? You got the easy part. I still gotta get rice, fruit and the minister. I had the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
The fortune sound and you got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet. What am I want? Cold feet.
Well, what do I do?
Cold feet. No! You make the cold feet hot. Look at you, George. You're dancing.
I
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. I like to think of him panting and sweating after a long dance routine. He's still alive, you know. I saw him on television recently celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the years have not been kind to him would be a grotesque understatement. They wheeled him out and he had this wide-eyed expression that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that says, who are you, who am I, and why is this cake on fire? Anyway.
All right. That's enough for that. Dancing around like a fool.
Sorry, George, I was just trying to calm my nerves. It is my wedding day, after all.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle. Tap dancing is too dangerous. Why don't you go out for a skate instead? That's what I do when I want to blow off some steam.
George, you think of everything.
Oh, what was I thinking? No, you can't go out like that, my friend. You might see Janet. Here, put on this blindfold.
George, what would I do without you?
I was just looking out for you, my boy. And no more tap dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore it. It will stop soon. It does this, it rings. Just ignore it, it will stop soon. What do you want?
Hello, you've reached my answering machine. Please leave a message at the tone and I'll call you back at my convenience.
Well, there you go. The moment is ruined. It's like a cell phone going off in a theater. Hello, what are you doing? Oh, I'm at the theater, ruining the moment. How about you? Oh, I couldn't get out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. Sorry. Let's check that off. Let's get our minds back into the world of 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, but I'm sure they had something for the ruining of moments. Bugles or something.
It's a happy life.
So the scene shifts and we turn our attention to the glamorous Janet Vandegraff, who is entertaining questions for reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandegraff, is it true you're giving up the success of a career-experienced man you hardly know?
Yes. Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Ile de France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned briefly, and then he proposed.
So, does that mean you'll never be returning to the stage ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Did we quote you on that?
Of course. One more question? Yes?
Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I got a question. How can you give up the footlights when you know very well you got grease paint running through your veins?
Victor, please.
Oh, Janet, I'm begging you. Dump the mug. Stay with the follies. I'll give you anything you want. Oh, fine. I'll put your name above mine in the marquee.
Oh, Victor, if you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play this all seems Christmas no more. Below my signature no more. I don't want to show off. Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind. I don't wanna show. No more.
Did I miss something?
Well, Mr. Felsick, it's painfully obvious Miss Mandy Rapp no longer desires a life on stage.
Can't you see it's killing a soul?
Don't worry, guys. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do an encore.
I don't want encore no more. Keep on shouting for more no more. Make the audience roar no more. I don't wanna show.
That was Jane Roberts. She was the Oops Girl. Oh, surely you people remember the Oops Girl. Don't you people read? She was billed as the girl whose sexual energy was so potent that it caused men all around her to have little accidents. Spill their drinks, crash their cars into trees, that kind of thing. And she would just go, oops. Well, I'm not really doing it justice, but people made it up. They did a whole series of films. Oops, The Oops Girl Comes Home, and Oops Girl at Sea, which won an Oscar for special effects.
Okay. Begging and groveling didn't work. Now time for plan B. And for that, I'm gonna need an accomplice. Someone gullible with loose morals. I need what do you call him? A European.
In walks Aldolfo, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldolfo was played by former silent film star and world-class alcoholic. Wrote himself to death at his chateau in Nice, remember? It was 5 days before they found his body, and by that time it had been partially consumed by his poodles. Well, it was only partially consumed.
Excuse me, I don't believe we've met.
I am Adolfo.
You are Adolfo?
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Not the Adolfo.
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Funny, don't look like a scoundrel.
Yes, what?
Just now, I overheard the groom saying Adolfo is a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
Adolfo is a scoundrel.
Those very words.
Adolfo is a scoundrel.
Like I'm hearing it again.
This is outrageous. He assigned this to peoples, to beautiful ladies with breasts for making love. Why, I must.
You must take matters into your own hands.
Yes, I must take this broom into my hands and kill him.
Yes. No. Don't kill him. Just earn him enough so he can't get married.
Call me to this broom. Wait.
What?
What kind of a man is this groom? A big man?
Well...
A burly fellow?
Well, he's big on the outside.
No. Adolfo will not fight big man. Small, pale, wheezy, little dog people Adolfo can pop far away. But no big man.
So, you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Adolfo is a lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I am the king of
what they say. The best way to get revenge at a man is through his
Window.
no, the best way to get back at a man is through his
Door.
no, revenge. Back at a man through his
Grease. Now there is no other wise. I know Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
through his woman.
Ah, he's woman.
Yes, Aldolfo must seduce his woman,
He's woman.
his bride.
How doubtful to make love to the bride. This will show people how doubtful is no scoundrel. Show me to this bride. Wait. And what kind of a woman is this bride? A big woman? A burly woman?
No, she's the cat's pajamas.
Pajamas?
She's a looker, an attractive lady.
Ah, show me to this cat in pajamas. How doubtful will make a pun. Like a cat in pajamas.
Roman Bartelli chewing the scenery. You certainly couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, now could you? No, mature contemporary audiences are far too sophisticated to enjoy broad racial stereotypes played out on stage. So we banished them to Disney. The children sort it out.
Underling,
Yes, madam.
the pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide the liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we have to be discreet.
Yes, madam.
It is prohibition after all.
I'm aware of that, madam.
We'll have to use code words. For instance, if someone asks for a glass of ice water, it means they would like a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madam.
Are you sure? Maybe you should write it down.
I understand, madam, a glass of ice water means a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water?
Vodka.
Ice
Vodka.
Well, you see, that's settled then. One less thing to do. Underling, would I please have a glass of refreshing ice water? I found our meeting with the pastry chefs rather trying, and I would enjoy a glass of refreshing ice water.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
I hate this scene.
Well, now I do need a glass of ice water.
A glass of ice water, madam?
Yes, ice water? Are you going deaf?
Would that I were.
You can see where this is going, can't you? It's really just a series of spit takes.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, in some ways, the Drowsy Chaperone was rather progressive. A black actress playing the aviatrix, for example.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, in some ways it was progressive. Other elements were stale in 1928. You know what? I'm just going to skip ahead.
To find some tomato juice, madam.
Tomato juice? For heaven's sake, why?
I'm going to wring out my eyebrows and make myself a bloody Mary.
Some of you are probably wondering what the point of all that was. Well, you see, there's a song coming up, and they needed something to happen while they changed all the set pieces around. It's kind of like adult film. Let me explain what I meant by that. You see, in adult film, the plot serves only to string together the longer, more engaging production numbers. What kind of world do we live in if I can't discuss the similarities between adult film and musical theater?
In a few hours, I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a bad whirlwind.
Now, this is a really interesting scene. This is the only scene where Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone together on stage. Now, Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was already well established and a force to contend with.
I'm so full of apprehension. But I suppose that's normal considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, Chaperone?
No, I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Ice water, madam. I'm afraid we're fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, Underling?
Oh, heavens no. If I am to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
Oh, you too. I know it seems crazy to give up a successful career to marry a man I hardly know, but somehow, for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, oh gee, I get all woozy, and that's love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The wooziness can be caused by any number of things. I mean, I'm woozy right now. Sorry.
Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rap anthems. She entertained and inspired the troops in every major world conflict up to and including the Falklands War. Of course, by that time, she was in her late 80s, and her anthems did not so much as inspire as stupefy. Still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be played in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't appropriate. But you just couldn't say no to her. That's star power.
Really, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but if you just give me a few words of...
As we stumble along on life's sweet journey, as we stumble along into the moon, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we fumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth. Really, no left from right, no right from wrong. Let me explain.
Oh, really, that's not necessary. I suppose I was just looking for a few sympathetic words of... It's a
Dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents. Antarctica, oh please.
Antarctica, oh please.
Still, you mustn't let it linger. This planet, oh so grand. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floors, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn, and when we finally leave My dear, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you ask him? Why don't you say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert, and I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
You're right. And I take the responsibility very seriously. However, I'm just this moment feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I'll have to have a lie down. Now, whatever you do, don't go wandering to the garden seeking out your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
Such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. Oh, when will love come crashing through my door?
La 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 la. In walks Aldolfo, come to seduce the bride.
I am Adolfo.
Try not to think about the poodles when you're listening to this part.
I am Adolfo, and you are bride.
No, I'm not.
What? Mrs. Bridal Sweet, you are the only one here, therefore you must be bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you're a moron.
What?
Me? No bride. Perhaps I can take a message?
Yes, very good. Dear Van der Graaf bride, I must make love to Joe and transport you to a place of ecstasy. Sooner is better. Signed Aldolfo, King of Romance.
You found me out. You saw through my little ruse.
Ah, so you are the bride.
Apparently, yes. Take me, I tell the face.
No, not Aldolfo. Aldolfo. You must remember my mind, for when we are making love to screaming it, you must say the right line or you spoil everything. How can I make you remember? Myself. I am Aldolfo.
Nice to meet you. Shall we?
Not so fast, so just a textual feeling here, Aldolfo. I'll try to make it very clear, Aldolfo. The lovely line is always here, Aldolfo. When I repeat myself, I am Aldolfo.
Understood.
I can sing it high. I can sing it low. I can sing it very fast. I can sing it very slowly. I do it now, but it could take hours. Now let us see if you can remember my mind.
I'll give it a shot.
Now who's a fellow that you see?
Aldolfo.
And how to report to me? And who is it I'll always be? Now sing it proudly.
You are Aldolfo.
Now let me spell out the floor. The vulture of the light is the people here for some reason because maybe you're hard of hearing or something. I don't know. It goes.
swept off her feet by a Latin lover. I mean a real Latin lover, not this food. But that's what musicals are all about, aren't they? Romantic fantasy, falling in love at the drop of a hat, spontaneous tangoing, suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. La 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 la.
Robert, look out!
Don't worry, I'm getting married today, so I have to wear a blindfold.
A blindfold?
I'm sorry, who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. Mimi from France.
The scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
So, you are marrying Janet Van der Graaf, no?
Oui,
I hear she's very beautiful
oui,
and glamorous.
oui, oui.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing your accent. What part of France did you say you were from?
Oh, the middle part where they make the toast. You were telling me about your, how do you say in English, fiancé?
That's right.
So tell me, when was the moment when you knew that she was the only one for you?
Well, it's a funny story, actually. We were standing on the Lido deck of the Ile de France.
Yes?
I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
I looked into her eyes, her big glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell! Oh, and then you fell?
Yes, right on my keister. And I said, well, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
We haven't left the dock.
That's what she said. And that's when I knew it. I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mystery about to do. I'm the toy on the stair, a three-legged chair, a hand that's been caught by a shoe. When my two left arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankle could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so happy I happened to you.
Then what happened?
She joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall in my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. It will be next to waiting to happen.
That's right.
A catastrophe destined to be.
That's me. I'm the rags in the cellar.
A broken umbrella, a branch hanging loose from a tree. I can see myself jumping and clapping for a man who lives dangerously. Not an accident waiting to happen, so hurry and happen to me. Then what happened?
Then we kissed.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. So hurry and happen to Wait a minute! You kissed a strange French girl on your wedding day!
Oh no! What have I done? Wait!
Oh no, it seems the strange French accent and the blindfold didn't work out after all. Of course it will. It's a musical. Everything is always worked out all right in musicals. In the real world, nothing ever goes right, and the only people who burst into song are the hopelessly deranged.
Where's that philandering foreigner? How long can it take to seduce one bride?
You don't need Janet no more.
Kitty, not now.
I've been working on a new mind reading act. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible. Now think of something.
Oh, I'm thinking of something all right.
Wait, I'm getting something. Pick up some milk and a loaf of rye bread. And don't forget to shave your legs.
You're reading your own mind, you idiot.
No wonder it was so easy.
Mr. Belsey,
It would seem that this wedding is proceeding according to schedule.
now it's time for your just desserts. What do you say, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Belsey?
Yeah! How about a Toledo surprise?
And it's by your choice.
A Toledo surprise. I've never heard of that.
No, you haven't, because those who have heard of it are generally never heard from again.
We'll share the recipe with you.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow.
Then you got a Toledo surprise.
Could you run that by me again?
It's a very simple recipe, Mr. Feltzig.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough. Then you bake it up nice and slow. Then you got your Toledo surprise.
Say, Carter, should we give Mr. Phelpsy a little taste?
All right.
Hold it. What style? What grace? What rhythm? Open your fist. And now shake them. And give me that recipe one more time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Go.
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up
Front.
nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo surprise.
Now sell it.
Hit the peach, peel the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's the taste of Toledo surprise. First you heat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, it tries to rise. Don't let it, it's a snack. Try it once, when you're wet, split the yolks. Then you got Toledo surprise.
You boys are naturals.
Honest?
Yeah, keep it up. I'll go work on the contracts.
Hey.
I'll buy 6, 7, 8.
Oh, Mr. Feltzig, what's going on here?
Kidding, I'm developing a new act.
Toledo surprise.
You mean you're putting gangsters in the show and you won't put me in it?
She got it all wrong. The new act, it's for you, Kitty. And these boys are your backup dancers.
Backup dancers? Holy nuts! I ran my Toledo, nice to my Toledo. Yes, Toledo, sugary yum yum.
Boy, everyone stop! Now, boy, make an announcement. Wedding is off.
What? The love of God, why?
Our downfall has made love to the bride and groom.
That's not the bride, you idiot. That's the chaperone.
What?
The wedding is off.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Amy. She's very beautiful.
I couldn't help it, Janet. She was just like you, only French.
Sweet mother of pearl. Wondering.
Yes, madam.
What is all this commotion
The
about?
wedding, madam.
Is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up. Then you then you eat it up. If it tries to ride, don't let it. Tell you a surprise.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise! Wait till it's ready! Surprise!
Wait till it's ready.
Now it's been ready! Surprise! Makes me twitch, makes me shake. This dessert takes the cake. It's more torpedo. Toledo surprise!
Toledo surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise!
Robert, why are we dancing? Our dreams are in tatters.
Yes! Yes! But the tune is so infectious!
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Wedding bells won't ring, wedding bells won't chime. They will never celebrate our happy wedding
That's it. The curtain closes and brings us to intermission. Or at least it would be if we were actually sitting in the Morosco Theater in New York. Which, of course, we are not. I don't like intermissions. They ruin the magic, you know? They yank you back to reality. One moment you're surrounded by the glamorous world of color and music, and then bang! You're surrounded by parents. Crinkling candy wrappers and nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel, but you know what it is. It's depriving yourself of one of Miss Fist's ice cream sandwiches. So, go stuff yourselves full of sugar and cola, and I'll meet you back in 15 minutes for the beginning of Act 2. Bar. I have a little bit of a blood sugar issue. I have to eat small meals all throughout the day or else I get jittery. I know it's rude, but I wouldn't like the alternative. Believe you me. Believe you me. I remember my wedding day. I hadn't had breakfast and the ceremony wasn't until 4 in the afternoon. I do. What? Are you surprised that I was married? Well, there you go. We shouldn't go making assumptions about people now, should we? I'm a very complicated person. pee now. Don't worry, I won't be long, and while I'm gone, you can listen to the beginning of Act 2.
As an emperor, sometimes a different perspective can change your point of view.
What?
Precisely. What is it about the Asians that fascinates Caucasians? What is it about the Asians that's so nice? Is it the wontons, the emeralds, the wives? Perhaps it's Buddha or Confucius and their excellent advice.
What is it about Caucasians that mystifies the Asians? What is it about Caucasians that's so odd? They corrupt pretty rightly abroad. They have hair upon their chest and they only have one god. Impossible!
Sorry. That was not from the Drowsy Chaperone. That was from another musical entirely. I have a woman who comes in once a month. Can you say that? I have a woman. Anyway, she cleans the things that I absolutely refuse to clean. She's very good, but she has an annoying habit of putting my records away and in the wrong sleeves, even though I tell her, no touch records, Carmela. No touch records. I suppose if I spoke to her in complete sentences, she'd stop touching my records. No, that was from another Gable and Stein show called The Enchanted Nightingale, a degrading piece of chinoiserie about it's a magic bird and it tells an emperor to forsake his betrothed and instead marry his American elocutionist, and he ends up building the Great Wall of China. A slap in the face to 4,000 years of Chinese history. Still, it had some great tunes. Act 2 of The Drowsy Chaperone begins with this. A haunting lament from a very depressed bride. She sings it while standing on the balcony, bathed in the pale blue light of the synthetic moon, which is ridiculous because it's the middle of the day. Now, while you're listening to this, try and ignore the lyrics. I know it will be difficult, but just block them out. They're not that good, but the tune is truly beautiful, and it truly communicates the bride's state of mind. Just ignore the lyrics.
I put a monkey on a pedestal and tried to make that monkey stay. And he did for a time, but he needed to climb and with other monkeys play far away. He left his jacket on that pedestal beside his tiny rusty cup, and I
so simple, it just floats in the air. And I must confess I always get a little bit misty-eyed when I think of that tiny little jacket, its long sleeves dangling to the floor.
Oh, monkey, 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 you broke my heart in two. But I'll always save that pedestal
Pedestal.
for you. Come, my little monkey. Come, my little monkey.
Okay, here we go.
Wait,
Who are you?
I'm Janet Vandergraff.
Do you need anyone?
I don't need anyone.
What about the love of just one man?
What will I care about the love of one man when I am adored by millions? Do I need to be so gloomy? No, no, no. I can rule the world with so my jaws. Singing voices loudest to me every show. Gertrude said she handed me a rose. I'm Janet Vandergraff. Ain't no nail that I can hammer. Why give up a life of glamour? Life of glamour, life of glamour. No!
Monkey, monkey. Monkey, monkey. Monkey, monkey, monkey.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. I don't wanna show off no more. I don't wanna spread mirth no more. Be the greatest on earth no more. I don't wanna, I don't, show everything sure, Janet, future is secure, Janet, millions will do just fine. But any future I could ever care to shape includes just 1, 2 time in cat who drives me Is it the monkey or my pedestal?
That number has everything. A little Bubsy Berkeley, a little Jane Goodall. That's what's wonderful about musical theater. When a character is in crisis, they sing and they dance, which is so much more interesting than just whining about it. But that's the glory of musical theater. You see this? This is life. You manage to be happy for just 5 seconds, and then something starts ringing.
Shall I come to you for this now, or shall I wait until morning?
I'm just going to stop this number here because I don't want it ruined by a ringing telephone. Here are 2 vaudeville performers who have slipped through the cracks of time. They are Noel Fitzpatrick and Ukulele Lil. I don't know anything about them. I suppose Ukulele Lil played the ukulele, although she doesn't in this show. I actually tried to find out more about them. I went through all my books, I even tried the internet, but all my searches came up with Tiny Tim's autopsy photographs. Still, they're both charming.
Why would you have the pews removed?
The bride has called off the wedding, madam.
Oh, underling, never listen to a bride on her wedding day. Love is a very complex emotion.
Here we go again.
Samson and Delilah too.
Go ahead, please. May I pose a question, madam?
Why, yes, of course.
Why does nothing I say to you ever get through?
Don't mind if I do.
Quite taxing. Excuse me, madam, while I go pour myself a glass of ice water.
Love sneaks up behind you. Love tries to love. And love will never consciously offend. Love has certainly been kind to me. And my true love. Love is always lovely in the end.
But your late husband was a brute.
I don't mean it here, you silly fool. Love is always lovely. Love is always lovely in the end. Love is always lovely in the end.
Wonderful, but to some degree, that number pisses me off. Now I'm gonna say something here, and yes, I have been drinking, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that love is not always lovely in the end. Often, in the end, there are lawyers, and another thing. Certainly someone else was aware of the awkward innuendo of that title. Love is always lovely in the end. Maybe it's just me. I guess what I'm saying is that that number is naive and irresponsibly so. Sorry, I just thought that had to be said for the benefit of all the young people out there. I won't interrupt anymore. Oh, there's a moment coming up that I have become obsessed with.
There you are. Oh, Chaperone, I'm in a terrible state.
Oh, you certainly are. You can't go to the wedding looking like that.
You poor dear, haven't you heard? The wedding's been called off.
Not your wedding, mine. Oh, that reminds me. Might I borrow your veil?
You're getting married? But to whom?
La 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 la. Ah, beautiful lady with baffled expression.
You're marrying Aldolfo?
I know it seems crazy, but when I look into his eyes, his big, clumsy eyes, oh, I just get all drowsy. And that's love, isn't it?
Yes, dear. That is love.
There you are. All right, I'm going to put all my cards on the table. I got a weak heart, can't take the pressure. If this goes on any longer, the old tinker's going to give out. Please, tell me, is there going to be a wedding or not?
Yes.
Thank the good Lord in heaven.
Aldolfo and the chaperone are getting married.
What?
There you are! I have wonderful news! There's going to be a wedding!
We know.
You know?
Yes, we just heard.
Well, who told you?
I did. How did you know?
Well, what difference does it make?
Mrs. Tottendale and I are to be married in the garden at 7:30 this evening.
What?
What? Oh, yes!
Congratulations to everyone.
Say, what kind of cockamamie wedding is this? Everybody's getting married except the bride and groom.
Oh, there you are. Oh, Janet, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Oh, please don't be that way. Can't you find it in your heart to marry me? Janet, it is our wedding day, and well, George has gone through all this trouble, and well, I do love you. More than I can say.
But you kissed another woman.
Yes, and I just can't understand it. I know this may sound ridiculous, but when I was kissing that French girl, well, it was like I was kissing you.
Oh, Robert, you were kissing me.
You mean you're Mimi? Well, that French accent was remarkably accurate.
Why, thank you. And in Belgium, when I played the role of Monique and hold that baguette.
There you are. Before you do anything, think about this. No matter how well you play the part of a happy wife, you'll never ever get a standing ovation.
It's fact, and then she's suddenly standing there in front of you in a $3,000 dress with tears in her eyes, and her nephew made the hoopah, so what do? You say, I was kidding, I was joking? No! No, you choose to live. You choose to live. And for a couple of months, you stare at that alien form in the bed beside you, and you think to yourself, who are you? Who are you? And then one day you say it out loud, and then it's trial separation and couples counseling, and all your conversations are about her eating disorder or your Zoloft addiction, and you're constantly redefining and reevaluating, reaffirming everything until you finally lose the deposit on the house, and the whole relationship ends on a particularly ugly note, with your only copy of Gypsy spinning through the air and crashing against the wall. But still, in a larger sense, in a broader sense, I suppose it's better to have lived than left, right?
While you can.
You have no idea how many times I've listened to that.
Oh, Chaperone, you certainly have a way with words. Robert, my answer is yes. I will marry you.
Oh, wonderful! Wonderful! Well, Mr. Feltzig, looks like this wedding's going according to plan.
Now you're in trouble.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
But there is. I found a replacement. A new leading lady. Presenting Kitty, the Incredible. Okay, Kitty, concentrate and show the boys how you can read my mind. My mind.
Kitty, will you marry me? Holy cats, Mr. Feltzig! Yes!
Isn't she amazing?
Well, what are you waiting for? You ladies go put on your frillies. We'll all get married in one big clump. That's how they do it in Utah.
Well, George, I guess you've done it. 4 weddings in one day. I guess you're everybody's best man now.
I am.
Of course you are.
Yes.
I am.
Hip, hip, hooray! He's yours, that's yours, the best man yours.
I'm honored to meet you. We are the best.
We basking in the glory of the 512 Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time.
perform a marriage?
Yes!
And the pilot is comparable to a captain?
Yes! And an aeroplane is a type of a chief. A chief of the air. Or for the air chief.
Oh, shit! Yes!
Wait, I got it. Since you can marry them on the plane, we will all have a honeymoon meal.
A bride and groom in a chapel may bring a tear to the eye, but what a thrill when lovers trill. I do in the sky. When about the sand and the maid down the hillside. But I do in the sky. Do you? We do. Do you?
We do.
Do you? We do.
A bride and groom in a chapel made with a tear to the eye.
When the rainbow's landing before us and clouds meandering by, one can't restrain that sweet refrain. I do in the sky. When love is standing on the leaves and daffodils sigh, my heart may crush when sweetheart gush. I do in the sky.
Look, up ahead. Do you see it?
Could it be? Yes, it's real. Well, hurry up, Trixie. Got some honeymoon to do. Then fly, then fly, then fly. It's such a thrill when lovers thrill and fly. And crowds meandering by.
One can't restrain that sweet refrain. I do.
Oh no! Oh, I can't believe it! Don't worry, this happens occasionally. It's a horrible old apartment with terrible wiring. Don't talk to anybody, just keep the show alive in your minds. I'll find a flashlight. Just stay where you are. I'll find the fuse box. Everyone be quiet. Oh, God.
Hi.
Hello?
The lights are out.
Yes.
We had to shut off the power because we're replacing the breaker panel in the basements.
Yes.
So we replaced it. But when we turn the power off, the breakers in all the apartments trip.
Yes.
That's what happens. It's normal.
Yes.
So I gotta reset your breakers.
Now.
It'll only take a second.
All right.
Because I tried to call it earlier, but there was no answer.
I've been having a problem with the phone.
Here we go. What was that?
It was a record.
What kind of music was that?
It was just music, you know, from a show, a musical.
You like musicals?
No.
I love musicals. Hog Monster and I go all the time. It's amazing what they can do nowadays. Did you see this Psycho? They landed a helicopter on the stage in that one. Yeah, I've seen them all. Cats, Les Mis. I saw Spam a lot last year. That was
Really? Well, goodbye.
Forgot Hall Monster.
Really? Goodbye, Hall Monster. Well, that's it. One note away from end of the show and the mood is shattered. I should just start the record again from the beginning! No. I can't do that, can I? Oh, it's just so frustrating. You have to understand, I love this show so much, and... well, I've never even seen it. My mother got the record for me, and this was just before my father left us. Oh, she didn't leave because of the record, although I'm sure it didn't help matters. Look, I know it's not the perfect show. The spit take scene is lame and the monkey motif is labored, but none of that matters. It does what a musical is supposed to do. It takes you to another world. A world full of color and music and glamour. It gives you a little tune to carry with in your head. A little something to escape the dreary horrors of the real world. A little something for when you're feeling blue, you know? As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
Stumble our way